Good evening, everyone. As always, it's great to see you all here. Thank you all for continuing to come to our meetings and for supporting us. We really appreciate that. It's Wednesday, March 26, 2025. The time is now 18:30. I'd like to officially,
I'd like to make a motion to close executive session.
I'd like to entertain a motion to close out executive session.
Motion to close out executive session.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, at this time, I'd like to adjourn our work session.
I motion to adjourn.
Do I get a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Our work session has been adjourned. I always forget that. Thank you, guys. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. The time is now 18:30. I'd like to officially call the City Council meeting to order. As you all know, I'm Mayor Pro Tem Keisha Jeffcoat. I'll be presiding over the meeting tonight. The Mayor Owens is unable to join us tonight. He actually is engaged in nationally participating in a leading cities driving innovation mayoral leadership in Silicon Valley, which is an exclusive event hosted by Cultural Leadership Fund. So he's out there for 2 days joining a select group of African-American mayors across the country to talk about ways in which we can enhance our city services, also to improve and drive our economic development. And he's participating in some executive briefings and some city initiatives. So hopefully whenever he gets back, he'll bring back some great info and some key takeaways for us. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, ma'am. We have Mayor Michael Owens is absent.
But accounted for.
Councilmember Ron Davis, District 1.
Present.
Councilmember Dami Oladapo, District 2.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember District 3, Keisha Jeffcoat.
Present.
Councilmember Patricia Ock, District 4.
Present.
Councilmember TJ Ferguson, District 5.
Present.
And Councilmember Deborah Herndon, District 6.
Present.
All present minus the mayor. We have quorum.
Thank you. We'll move on to item 5, which is approval of agenda. Hopefully you all had an opportunity to review the agenda during our work session. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, I skipped one. Councilman Davis, can you lead us in our invocation, please?
Yes. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for your grace and mercy. We thank you for all that you do for us, your protection, Father God. We just pray that you continue to lead us as we grow the city, Father God, as we serve the residents, Father God. So let us operate in unity and strength and courage, Father God. Keep us in every way. We thank you and praise you. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Councilman Ferguson, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
All those stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, we are going to move to item 9, which is our public comment section. Do we have any public comment cards?
Yes, we have 3, and we will start with Mr. Sam Culver, and then followed by Cassandra Brown, and then following up with Bryce Wagenfelter, and a reminder of 2 minutes per speaker, please.
Is this? Okay. Hello? Test. Okay, awesome. Good evening, City Council and City of Mableton. Again, my name is Sam Colbert. I am the current chairman of the Austell Community Task Force. Just wanted to let everybody know and invite y'all out to our general meeting, which will be taking place. Maybe I'm too close to the thing. Okay. Is that better? Okay. To our general meeting that will be taking place this coming Monday on April 3rd between at 7 p.m. Right up the street at the South Cobb Recreation Center. We'd love for you to come out and learn about what's going on in the city amongst the districts around the area. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention there's a great event coming up this weekend. The Cobb County Commission District 4 is having their, I believe, third Earth Day cleanup. And so that'll be taking place on March 29th between, oops, let me get to my notes. I promise I had pulled it up. Starts at 10? Okay, gotcha.
The Walmart.
There we go. Okay. Starts at 10 a.m. and goes to 1 p.m. The kickoff location is going to be at the Walmart parking lot off the East-West Connector, but we will be having, I'm trying to figure out why that mic is popping.
You're spitting in it.
Okay. So what?
You're spitting in it.
Am I spitting in it? Okay. I'm going to be over here to the side. Okay. So basically, but just wanted to let y'all know that the Riverside Neighborhood Community Garden that we are the fiscal agents over as an organization is actually going to be a volunteer site. So right after you meet up at the Walmart parking lot, we will be having folks bus back down into this area because we wanted to make sure that we actually had some service down in the area. So we're going to be doing an Adopt a Mile as well as servicing the garden. We'd love for y'all to come out this Saturday. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, Mableton and Council. My name is Cassandra Brown, and I am a resident of District 4 here in Mableton. And tonight I want to address our parks. So in the 2020 Mableton feasibility study conducted by the University of Georgia, it was confirmed that, number one, that Mableton had the revenue necessary to exist and thrive as a city. But also, the study points out on page 28, table 19, it talks about our parkland in our community. So the study identified the 13 parks in Mableton, which make up a total of 534 acres. Furthermore, the study goes on to cite the official code of Georgia that sets a cost for parkland for a municipality that will transfer it from a county. So based on the estimate in the feasibility study, it was cited that Mableton should be able to acquire this parkland from Cobb County for $53,463 or equivalent of $100 per acre. So when cityhood was being deliberated, parks were consistently highlighted is one of the core services that our city would provide. However, I noticed that this topic seems to have faded away from recent discussions as the city works to get at least 3 key services set up. But as we approach the milestone of officially operating as a city, I urge the mayor and the council not to lose sight of this essential issue. It's critical that the city take decisive action, collaborate with the county and whomever else, legal folks, whatever, that need to be collaborated with in order for us to acquire our parks at the established rate of $100 per acre. And just finally, these parks have already been funded by our tax dollars, so it's time that they are secured for the community benefit. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Bryce Lingenfelder. I live in District 5. Hi, Mr. Ferguson. I understand that when I came to one of the first meetings that this is not a place for interrogatory, but I had 2 questions. One, first about waste management. I came to the meeting about a month ago when you actually passed the fee, and you mentioned in that meeting that there were going to be 12 vendors that would be approved. I looked on the website, I could not find that anywhere, and how would I find that out? Number 2, thank you to whoever cleaned up Clay Road. I live off of Clay Road. And I had just mentioned to my wife, I live on C's, and every 2 weeks I pick up the trash on my road, both sides. And sadly, I pick up about 55 gallon of trash each time. And of course, it goes into my trash. And but it's been bothering me on Clay Road, not only the trash, but the debris, leaves, pine needles, etc. And I pleasantly was surprised as I came here tonight. It's all cleaned up. So thank you for whoever did that. Lastly, code regarding the amount of vehicles that are permitted in a driveway. I do watch the Board of Commissioners, Cobb County, and it's my understanding there are 4 vehicles permitted in a driveway. And I'm wondering, what is City of Mableton's position about that? Because there are many in my neighborhood that far surpass that by double, if not more. Thank you.
And we did get one final one from Rebecca Ford.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Ford. I'm a lifelong Mableton resident, live in District 3, and I chair the Mableton Improvement Coalition Zoning Committee. For as long as I can remember, the intersection next to 440 Veterans Memorial Highway has been an eyesore. And frankly, it's adjacent to what's possibly the most unattractive stretch of VMH in the city. It's a shame one of the busiest roads in our community contains some of the most unattractive, underutilized parcels in the area. And with our city's incorporation, I hope stretches like this part would see real improvement that benefit the community, redevelopment such as density appropriate residential and consumer oriented retail. However, it has come to to our attention that a school bus fueling station is in the works, and a use like that on valuable property off of Main Road accomplishes none of the aforementioned goals. This property also backs up to single-family homes. An industrial use, especially an intense automotive one, is completely inappropriate. Factors such as noise, especially early morning noise, fumes, environmental concerns, and light pollution will be detrimental to existing and future homeowners. A few years ago, a developer submitted an application for a high-density townhome development on this property. The neighborhood and MIC worked to defeat this inappropriate plan, and everyone was thrilled when we were successful, hoping something better would come along. Lo and behold, it's this industrial proposal, which is exponentially worse. Both the MIC board and the zoning committee would like to see the land developed as is currently laid out in the comp plan. Neighborhoods supporting retail or commercial use on the front and low-density residential in the back. Additionally, the comp plan does not support vehicle parking lots in a neighborhood activity center, which is what the front of this property is. And I know that the Board of Education doesn't have to follow the zoning codes. They don't have to submit zoning applications the way every other person or entity or business does. But it would be great if you guys would please consider Mableton's best interest and the wishes of the community. If a fueling station is necessary, I ask that you advocate for it to be built in an appropriate location in accordance with the comprehensive plan and not adjacent to residential properties. This is in no way an improvement to our community. We should also get a doorstop. Thank you.
Is that it?
That is all.
I do want to take the time to thank you all for your public comments. It's very important that we hear from our community and our stakeholders. It gives us an opportunity to know what your thoughts, what your concerns are, and it's just very important. Although we aren't able to respond immediately to your request, please know that we are actively working on those things and having dialogues about them. So we really do appreciate that. Next on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The motion has been approved. We're going to now move on to item 12, which is new business. 12A is consideration and approval of an agreement for grant writing services between the City of Mableton and Fund It Forward. I know we've discussed at length the importance of, as a new city, of having access to the grants, as I mentioned earlier, to help us fund some of the critical projects and services without placing additional financial burden on our residents. And they're going to provide us an opportunity to improve on our infrastructure, community programs, sustainability initiatives, and it's just going to help our community become stronger. Our staff has been focused on the needs of our city, so we're relying on someone with the specialized skills and who has a deep understanding of the application process to help us find the grants that our city needs, right, and that are a priority for our city. So that's why we're going to consider partnering with our Fund It Forward. It's an experienced grant writing firm. We're going to allow our Sustainability and Waste Beautification Director to come, and she's going to speak more on it.
Good evening, Mableton and Mayor Pro Tem and Council. We did discuss this briefly at the work session this evening, but for the new folks here, this is a monthly flat fee for a 12-month term for an experienced grant writer. They have worked with the cities of Norcross, Powder Springs, and South Fulton, and they are ready to dive in and take charge to get us some grants and needed infrastructure and additional funds. Mr. Tank said brought him in-house, so he might have some more details to share, but we are excited to get rolling and get him introduced with our department heads and identify needs and goals.
All right,
Thank you, Ms. Groth and Mayor Pro Tem. Yes, I will add, as our city is being very fiscally responsible, looking at opportunities to bring in revenue without creating any burden on our citizens. Grant writing meets that need. Even though some grants require matches, we want to have an opportunity to compete for grants that could come in that may not always require matches or that may meet some of the needs of the cities without affecting our revenue collection and creating a demand on our budget that may not be able to sustain. We are glad to bring Mr. Chris Brewer on to do this. He's experienced, as Ms. Groth has mentioned, in the federal space, the state space, also in certain industries, in arts, in sustainability, environmental, roads, projects. He's had experience working with all of them, and so we're excited that he'll get a chance to talk to our department heads, council members, and get some interest on some of the things that you all are interested in. If he sees something that may appeal to us, he'll go after it. And for the price that we're getting them for, it's a pretty good deal.
Thank you for that, City Manager. And again, this is very important. That's why we need the community to get involved and let us know. I mean, there are a lot of projects around our city that we know need to get done. And so bringing on this grant writing firm is going to be beneficial for us in that way. Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of an agreement for grant writing services between the City of Mableton and Fund It Forward.
I'll make a motion to approve an agreement for grant writing services between the City of Mableton and Fund It Forward.
I second.
Is there any further discussion on this item?
We need to state the amount, Mr. Manager. Do we have to state the amount in the motion since this is an unapproved?
You don't have to say the amount. I think the way the resolution is written,
Okay.
consideration approval, you can go to the form it's written, the amount. But that is public record if someone wants to see that amount.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it and the motion passes with a majority vote. That moves us to item 12B, consideration and approval of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Mableton, Foodwell Alliance, Beyond Zero Waste, and Compost Cowboys for a pilot community composting program. The City of Mableton has established a partnership with Foodwell Alliance, and to enhance environmental and agriculture initiatives within the community. So this is great. They're going to work closely with the City of Austell's agriculture plan. And through this planning effort, Mableton has been invited to join a regional composting program. So this is great. It's going to be at no cost to the city. It will feature one drop-off location with possibly additional locations as well. We have our Sustainability, Waste, and Beautification Director, Emily Groth, and I'll let her expound on that.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I do have a brief presentation for this item that I'd like to share. If it was loaded, if not, I can breeze through it.
Was it loaded? Okay, no.
No worries. So just mostly for education, this is a 2-year pilot program funded by Foodwell Alliance. They worked with the City of Austell for its recent city agriculture plan. Foodwell is known around the region through ARC. They work very closely with City of Alpharetta's robust community garden. So it's a combo effort of Foodwell Alliance to provide funding and marketing and city communications. Beyond Zero Waste is a separate organization that will provide educational sessions and curbside operational staff. And Compost Cowboys is a third organization that will provide drop-off operational staff. The City of Mableton will provide right now one drop-off location. It's free to us. This is just that 2-year pilot project. We were invited to participate. And just for education, the location right now will be at 6116 Mableton Parkway. It'll be 1 to 2 65-gallon curbside wheelie bin cans that you all are familiar with. There will be a robust programming with education, but right now it's getting it off the ground, getting signups, getting interested participants. You'll join in on an educational session. You'll take a little quiz to ensure that you kind of know how to compost correctly, and you'll get a combination to unlock that bin. And you are welcome to come onto the Mableton's host site, also at the location of our code enforcement and community development buildings to drop off your natural and organic waste. It's free to Mableton for this 2-year pilot project. Foodwell Alliance, Beyond Zero Waste, and Compost Cowboys are our project team for this. We are just providing the host site. So as more information gets going, and now that we have this tentative slated approval for this item, we'll get some education off the ground and next steps for anyone that is interested in this free compost drop-off program.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have the floor. May I speak?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it is noteworthy that you as a council had a robust discussion with our public about what were we going to do with environmental management fees. Of course, we have not collected any of those from waste services yet, but one of the commitments from staff to this council was that we would contribute or make the effort to start making sustainable initiatives, cleaning up the city, doing green initiatives. And I'm proud to see that Ms. Emily Groff, our Sustainability, Waste, and Beautification Director, is already delivering on what are we doing in the city ahead of us collecting those waste management fees. So this is driven not by what we're going to collect to keep the city environmentally sound, but it's driven by who she is and the mission and the vision of the city to make our city as green and healthy environmental state as possible. So very proud day that one, we got the contracts with the waste haulers done through Ms. Groff. I want to publicly thank her for that. And we have a waste management program that we're going to manage. I've had a citizen call, said that, hey, I'm partially disabled. Can I have help? And I said, yes, the contract requires that. And the fact that she's doing this compost thing here in the city early is going to show our commitment to delivering on what you all as council promised.
What is the location?
So I had a picture of it. It's kind of in the back corner, open to the public. Just park in the shared parking spot at 6116 and just walk around with your, typically folks will use a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket to store their organics like coffee grounds, banana peels, and just hand carry it over to the back corner of our parking lot.
Thank you.
I think it's commendable that our SWB director has hit the ground running to create an incredible opportunity for the city when it comes to environmental stewardship. And so thank you, because in reality, food waste makes up a significant portion of what ends up in landfills and things of that nature, producing harmful gas and that sort of thing. So implementing this program, especially now that it's also free, is a great way to combat this issue. And it's simple and a powerful solution for us to reduce food waste and that sort of thing. So thank you for initiating this program.
I did want to make one more comment, Mayor Pro Tem. I just wanted to thank again Councilwoman Ock and Special Projects Manager Xavier Ross for doing a lot of legwork earlier this year to get this off the ground.
Thank you both, for all three. Yeah, this is certainly a win-win. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Mableton, Food Well Alliance, Beyond Zero Waste, and Coast Compost
Cowboys.
Community Composting Program.
I make a motion that for the approval of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Mableton, Food Well Alliance, Beyond Zero Waste, and Compost Cowboys for a pilot community composting program.
I second.
All
Second.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there any further, do I have a second? You say you seconded it. Is there any further discussion on this? All those opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it. The motion is approved. It's awesome. All right, we're going to move on to item 12D, consideration 12C, consideration and approval of resolution adopting the Cobb County 2040 Comprehensive Plan as the interim comprehensive plan for the City of Mableton until the completion and adoption of the city's Mableton 2045 Comprehensive Plan and for other purposes. Our Special Projects Manager, Xavier, is going to make some comments.
Yes, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council and the community. I thank you for reading the, as it is printed on the agenda. I definitely want to provide a little context and clarity for the community, because I saw some eyebrows raised when you started saying it, so I wanted to thankful for the opportunity. First and foremost, we are moving along in the comprehensive plan process. This is a legal measure that helps us check off our requirement with DCA. It is not the formal comp plan, but it does check off the boxes that we need to stay compliant with the Department of Community Affairs. So as such, the recommendation for staff this evening will be that council approve the excuse me, resolution adopting the Cobb County comprehensive plan as it relates, sections of it as it relates to the City of Mableton in the interim, as we still work towards continuing our comprehensive plan, which is on track to be completed in the fourth quarter of this year, first quarter of next year. We still are moving that process along, but this is for us just to meet the DCA requirement of May 31st of this year. And staff's recommendation is that council will approve the measure.
I do have a question about procedure. So if we elect, obviously, to accept Cobb County's comprehensive plan, what is the process to institute ours once it's completed?
I didn't hear your question. You were looking that way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jeff, you can explain, Mr. Xavier, the process for instituting our City of Mableton's 2045 comprehensive plan.
Okay, were you looking for me to?
Oh, no, I was actually thinking the city attorney may be able to respond to that. Oh.
Yeah, Councilwoman, it's a relatively simple process. You would complete any and all public hearing requirements and then just adopt a resolution. So it would look very similar to this resolution, except the attachment would include your new plan that's being created.
Okay, thank you.
With the adoption of a comp plan for this purpose, or when we do Mableton 2045, is there a process that we've got to do before we can bring it in?
So there is a schedule that you have agreed to adhere to pursuant to your contract with the consultant.
Right, yeah, I get that schedule. I'm talking after, when we say it's done, is there something besides just adopting the resolution that we have to do? Like public hearings or anything like that?
Just publish.
Oh, she just said public hearing.
Just publish.
She just said public hearing.
Yes, we'll create a resolution. Mableton hereby adopts its comprehensive plan attached here to Exhibit A, and then the body of the plan will be attached. So it's a relatively simple process. It'll look very similar to the resolution that you've adopted tonight. And the only reason that you're adopting this one is because at the end of your transition period, if you want to get eligibility for certain grants and services that the Department of Community Affairs offers by state law, you have to have at least some comprehensive plan in place. So this is basically a placeholder. It's saying that we're going to use Cobb County and their plan as a placeholder until we complete our plan that's being prepared.
So,
and this document allows you to do that.
City Attorney, let me ask my question differently. If there's a process that we've got to go through to adopt ours, Mableton 2045, after it's complete, in order to get to this point where we have a resolution that we are adopting, right? You got it. If there's a process, why are we not using that now? And we're just going like the first read, the second read, all that sort of thing. Why are we not doing that this time?
Well, the process is relatively simple. It's just a public hearing and adoption.
So so we have to have a public hearing on this one?
Well, you don't have a plan. You have to put it together. So you're still getting community feedback. You're still getting input. I think you were only in month.
Right. No, I get that. We have to have a public hearing.
But you can't do that without a plan.
But we're about to adopt Cobb County's plan.
No, so Cobb County's plan has already gone through all
It's
state
already included
requirements.
us.
Yeah.
So it's met every state requirement that is required for it to be a valid
Right.
comprehensive plan. So you don't have to redo any of the requirements that the Cobb County went through along their process.
Right.
So you are able to just adopt this as a placeholder.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you, Xavier. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for consideration and approval of resolution adopting the Cobb County 2040 Comprehensive Plan as the interim comprehensive plan for the city of Mableton until the completion and adoption of the city's Mableton 2045 Comprehensive Plan and for other purposes.
I make a motion to approve the resolution adopting the Cobb County 2040 Comprehensive Plan as the interim comprehensive plan for the city of Mableton until the completion and adoption of the city's 2045 comp plan and for other purposes.
I second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it and the resolution is passed. Moving on to item 12D. This is consideration and approval of mayor to execute in substantial form an agreement between the city of Mableton and Cobb County by and through the Cobb County Board of Elections and registration for the November 3rd, 2025 general election and subsequent runoff required on December 5th of 2025. Attorney?
So Mayor and Council, we have adopted your election code, and pursuant to your election code, it just states that you give Cobb County the authority to implement your elections, which is consistent with multiple cities within Cobb County, and that you designate the city clerk as your local election superintendent. So now that we have the legislation in place, this is the actual agreement. So this is between you and Cobb County is committing to conducting your election consistent as they do other cities' elections. They're committing, and if you look at subsection 2, it gives the duties that they're going to do. For example, it says they're going to do election planning, ballot layout for absentee and provisional ballots, hiring of personnel, qualifying of candidates, programming, et cetera. So it's a laundry list of election services here. There is no additional cost for just the general election, which is the November 4th date. If you go into a runoff, then those costs were not budgeted within the current funding that comes to the county, and they will require that you pay that cost. The cost will be equitably split between the COP cities that Cobb County facilitates elections for based on the number of precincts. So they'll quantify the cost, quantify the number of precincts that were required for your particular runoff, and then they'll assess that to you as a fee. And that's what you're committing to with this agreement. In addition, it states at the term that this will end at the expiration of the runoff. So when the election's completed, this election agreement will no longer be valid. So if you're interested in future elections, you'll have to redo this agreement. And that's pretty much it. It says that you will indemnify them to the extent that they're sued. And we put in here, I just added a little additional language that says to the extent it's not occasioned by gross negligence or willful misconduct, because obviously if there's willful misconduct and someone's tampering with ballots and then you're sued for that purpose, you wouldn't want your residents to be responsible for having to defend that. And they didn't give any pushback when we made those adjustments. And that's basically it. So the recommendation would be to approve the document, and if so, we will execute it on our end and get it back to the county.
Okay. All right, thank you. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion for consideration and approval of mayor to execute in substantial form an agreement between the City of Mableton and Cobb County by and through the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration for the November 3rd, 2025 general election and any subsequent runoff required on December 5th, 2025.
Do we need to correct the date? So it's actually November 4th, not November 3rd. I think there was a typo in our agenda. And
Agreement has November 4th, so I don't know.
I think the in the agenda packet is correct. It's what's on
On
what you
the,
just
on
said.
this, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You said the 3rd, if you could just make clarification that you
November 4th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Instead of reading all of it out.
Making a motion or entertaining a motion?
I'm entertaining.
Motion for consideration and approval of the mayor to execute in substantial form an agreement between the City of Mableton and Cobb County by and through the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration for the November 4th, 2025
November
general
3rd.
election and any subsequent runoff required on December 5th, 2025.
Second.
Second.
There was a typo on the agenda.
November 4th.
Right,
So this
second.
is correct. No. December 2nd was the runoff on November 4th.
I
Is,
said November 4th,
you got that right? Good.
but this one's December 2nd.
You can also just say I move that we approve the election contract to Cobb County as presented in the agenda. And the contract that's in the agenda is accurate.
Okay. I'll second
Because if
it.
you read the language, you're just going to need to make clarifications.
Okay.
Microphone.
My apologies, my mic was not on. So instead of reading from the language on the agenda, it's easier to just say that I move that we approve the election contract with Cobb County that's in tonight's agenda. And that contract is correct. The wording on the agenda is not correct, but the actual contract is in substantial form.
Want me to- I make a motion to approve the election contract as written in our agenda packet in substantial form.
Do you have a second?
I second.
Is there any more discussion on this item? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it and the motion carries. Move on to item 12E, which is consideration and approval of resolution to amend the pay and classification plan. And our city manager will add to this.
Thank you, Mayor. Madam Mayor Pro Tem. If you notice, we had one of our citizens come up during public comments and talk about zoning. It is no secret that one of the things that attracts the most attention in our city from our citizens here of recent is either the cleanliness of our city, enforcement, or either how we're going to use development of the city. So we have had a real-time assessment of our need to beef up our zoning function. Currently, we're understaffed in that area. We were not understaffed by approval of the pay and class, but just where we were currently with staffing. And so after having a real-time assessment, listening to other jurisdictions, talking to subject matter experts, talking with staff, we made a recommendation on here on the pay and class to add 4 net new positions and then modify 1 position to a supervisor role. 1 position is to create the role of a deputy director of community development. Another is to add 1 additional senior planner, and then add 2 what we call entry-level planning positions to create a career path for those in the community development planning and zoning community department. We also have we're looking at getting our own building inspection division. We've hired a chief building official here recently. They currently work under the code enforcement director as inspection and enforcement, but as we grow and get more space, we will break this division out. So we're anticipating that growth. We have seen a lot of work come in already for permits and such. So we had 3 building inspectors that the council approved. We are also reclassifying 1 of those building inspectors to a building inspector supervisor. This should also give us redundancy in the roles, allow people to have vacation, take time off, whatever may be something that disrupts staffing, the department will be able to continue to operate and serve our citizens. So that is why I'm asking for the council to approve this amendment to the pay and class so that we can continue to grow as a city and serve our citizens and meet this critical need.
Thank you, City Manager. This is a good problem to have. That means the demand is there and we're growing, and we need to get the staff in to be able to do the work. So that's a good thing. All right. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for the consideration and approval of resolution to amend the pay and classification plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution to amend the pay and classification plan.
I second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is approved. We'll move on to the next agenda item number 14. There's no other business. Yes. Item number 14, City Manager's announcements. Comments? You have anything, City Manager?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I don't think I do, but let me check my list. No, ma'am, no comments. I do want to thank again Ms. Emily, Director of Growth, for getting our waste management to this point, March 26th. I think this marks the day the city attorney did state the 2-year date from our first, sworn in elected official, 2 years to this date, and we've met the deadline because she got the contract, she got the ball across the line. So I want to thank her publicly. We now officially are operating, not just officially operating a waste management service in the city of Mableton.
Okay, City Clerk? Deputy Clerk? Okay, thank you. City Attorney?
No comments, Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilman Davis, District 1?
Just always good to see all the engaged residents here in the city. Always does my heart good. Other than that, be careful out there. Spring is here, of course. The pollen is too, so take care of yourselves and have a great night.
Councilwoman Oladapo, District 2?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to see you as always. I do want to mention one thing for those who are in District 2, and for those who are not in District 2, feel free to join us. We do have a town hall coming up on the 24th of April at the Pure Hope Church, intersection of South Gordon and Mableton Parkway. So it'll be wonderful to see you all. I'm excited to discuss the status of our city and state of affairs in District 2 specifically. If you're not in District 2, you're also welcome. We'll have food and some fun. So engaging time. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you. Councilwoman out, District 4.
Good evening, everyone. I think I'm going to use my time for comments to address some of the public comments that were given here tonight, just because I know sometimes it feels like you're talking to the void. You don't really get any feedback back. So one was about waste management. The reason it wasn't on our website yet is because we didn't have contracts, but we did tonight. But we have 14 on the list, and that will be updated. Speaking on our website. And speaking of website, the reason I voted against approval of the agenda at the beginning of the meeting was before our meeting, it was actually an item on the agenda to have selection of a provider for website services. It was removed without council consensus. And so I kind of wanted to have a discussion, but I didn't really get the opportunity because discussion wasn't really asked at the beginning of the approval agenda. But what it is we're looking for, and just know that we're moving forward on that. And also maybe procedurally how there's been instances where I've wanted an item deferred and I was told I had to bring it publicly, it had to be voted on. This was just kind of unilaterally done behind the scenes, so it's just consistency going forward on how that goes forward. What else did someone thanked people who clean Clay Road. It's probably Barry Krebs. He is a very avid volunteer. If there is a clean spot in Mableton, he's got it. Here. Was that you, Barry, who did?
Barry said I didn't do
Well,
it.
thank you for the ones you've done.
I didn't even see you sneak in. So that's the man to thank. And of course, there's other volunteers as well. Friends of Mableton, Jeff Paget and Kim Lambden are residents over there, and I'm sure they probably helped maybe also. And then there was a comment about parks. We are actually currently in the process of SDS, which is Service Delivery Strategy discussion with the county, and I'm sure that will be brought up within those discussions, and we'll update as we have answers. And that's all I have for tonight, so thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, no, wait. I did have one more thing about Town Hall, but I'm going to leave that for Councilwoman Herndon to discuss.
Thank you. Councilman Ferguson, District 5.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Excuse me, good evening, everyone. I love these working sessions right into a meeting nights because we get out of here at a respectable time. However, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the people. I had a town hall last Monday, and I was so overjoyed by seeing the number of people that showed up, both from staff perspective, from council perspective. It's always good to not be the only person in the room. And such great questions. So I would implore you that when you see these town halls show up, go. Ask your questions, get to know your council members even more, let them sweat, and make sure that they understand your voice and hear your voice, which also takes me again, I told everybody at my town hall about the Mableton 2045. It was brought up again by Mr. Ross tonight. It's not going away. If you have had issues, we're coming. It's not going away. Just know that. And continue to look out for the different things that are going on with Mableton 2045. And lastly, one of the things I talked about at my town hall was this need for us as men of Mableton to really consider and be mindful of our mental health. So I asked the staff to help me organize a couple of events that are going to get started here in the next couple months, where we just kind of talk about our mental health and have people come in and just help us, because we cannot suffer in silence. Because when we suffer in silence, then we die in silence. So we need to be able to be open about our feelings, about the things that are going on with us. And that is one thing that if I leave anything for the city of Mableton, it will be that we have that, and we have that often and all the time. So that's all I have. Again, thank you very much for being here tonight, and I look forward to eating
Thank you, Councilman Ferguson. Councilwoman Herndon, District 6.
All right, good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I have one small announcement. Councilwoman Patricia Alk of District 4 and I, representing District 6, will be having a joint town hall on Tax Day, April the 15th. At 6:30 p.m. and we're going to be at this Girl Scout facility at Camp Timberridge. Address is 5540 North Allen Road, Southeast in Mableton. We invite everyone, you know, whether you're a District 4, District 6, or you're curious from the other districts, to come and support us on that day. We plan to have some really good information for you, and also let you know what's been going on with the city. So we welcome you to come, and I want to give a special thank you to our Special Projects Manager, Xavier Ross, for getting the location nailed down for us, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for coming out, and safe drive home.
Thank you, Councilwoman Herndon. So I wanted to make a few comments. I'll try not to be long-winded. Thank you all always for coming out. We really appreciate it. Recently, our community had a devastating loss on Sunday, March 2nd. An incident occurred in my district where one of my residents was hit and tragically killed in a car accident by an undocumented person who they presume was inebriated. Of course, his family is devastated. The unexpected tragedy of the victim, Roy B. Maddox, he was only 39 years old, and he had 3 children. And so I had an opportunity to meet with the family, attend the wake, attend the memorial service. But the family is facing the financial burden of funeral expenses. If you have an opportunity, if you can go on my Facebook page, I have a GoFundMe link on there with their GoFundMe, and it's just important that we come together as a community and support a family in need. I want Ms. North and Ms. Friday to know, that's his mom and sister, to know that we as a community are praying for them and we are supporting them. So I just wanted to, if you get a chance, again, go on my Facebook page and you'll see the details there. So last week, the mayor and the city council and residents all came together for our inaugural Mableton Day at the state capitol. And man, I tell you, I was so proud. We had an amazing time. Everyone showed up. This entire council was there. And it was a great time for us to get together, to engage with state legislators, showcase the progress of our city and the things that we're doing and advocating the needs of Mableton. It was just inspiring, as I mentioned, just to see all the residents out there firsthand, the community coming together in such a powerful way. And it just showed that we're unified and that we're highlighting the importance of collaboration between our local and our state leadership. And a heartfelt thanks goes out to everyone that was involved in pulling all of that together, and who contributed to the event happening. I know Representative Cummings, as well as our Senator Doc Rett and a few others were involved in that, as well as our Superman, Xavier Ross. So we appreciate that. I do want to extend some happy birthdays to our very own Allison, our new deputy clerk, as well as Rochelle, our HR specialist. Thank you both for all the work that you do. I know Rochelle isn't here but we do want to thank her as well for everything that you do. And we all see your impact. We hope you had a great day. So happy birthday. The Epi Farmers Market. So the Riverside Epicenter has partnered with Event Helper Z to launch a vibrant new farmers market. It's going to be here in Mableton. It's set to be one of the largest farmers markets. I love fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm always going to the DeKalb Market. It's nice to have something in our city. So the grand opening is going to kick off on Saturday, March 29th at 10 a.m. and through Sunday, March 30th, and at 9 a.m. on Sunday. It's going to feature 40 to 60 vendors. It's a lot of folks. Fresh produce, artisan foods, handmade crafts, and some lifestyle goods. So It's going to be more than just a market. It's going to be a destination for families, everyone to go and gather, and really community focused. So if you get a chance to drop by and pick up some produce and come out and see the farmers market, I would certainly encourage that. And then lastly, I am having a town hall meeting. This is a reminder for my district, District 3. That town hall meeting is going to be on March 31st, which is Monday coming, from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to discuss important updates, upcoming projects, just kind of give you a state of what we've been doing as a city. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear your questions, your thoughts, and it's a way for all of us to stay informed and engage. And we really appreciate it. So go on my Facebook page, you'll see I have an Eventbrite link on there, and just go and register for the event so we can get a count on how many people will be attending. And I would love to see you all there. And that's all I have at this time. I want to entertain a motion for us to go into executive session for litigation, real estate, and personnel.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for real estate and personnel.
And litigation.
Do we have litigation? Do we have litigation?
No. Real estate and personnel. Yep.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming out.
One.
Thank you all for your patience. I'd like to entertain a motion to close out executive session and reopen our regular session.
I make a motion to end executive session.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Is there any other business that needs to be discussed tonight? I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn our regular scheduled meeting.
I move to adjourn our regular scheduled meeting.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Thank you all. Have a good night. Meeting adjourned.